Alright guys, we anytime we react to Aeon of Horus, it's dangerous. Not because of him or what he is, but because of me potentially getting spoiled. But 125 to 201 is where I should skip. This is about how did Touma beat Accelerator. From what I remember, Accelerator got cocky, and Touma has like the HP and the endurance of like a golem. Bro tanked everything. And he beat the shit out of Accelerator after he got cocky, and Accelerator can't fight for shit. Let's go.
What's up guys, Aeon here, back with another video, and today we are going to talk about how did Kamijo Touma defeat Accelerator for the very first time during the Sisters arc. Since I've already done a video about how he was able to win when they clashed in World War 3, I thought it'd be good to do a video about the first time they fought.
Wouldn't this spoil RRS? I don't know. As soon as the spoilers start happening, I will end the video.
In the Sisters arc. So this video is mainly for fans of the anime who are curious how the hell Touma, a level 0 Esper, was able to
But like, why would this spoil Railgun RRS? Because Railgun RRS, right? It's going to like, what's it called? It's going to explain this fight from Misaka's perspective. That is the spoilers that you're talking about, even though I've already seen the fight. Is that actually spoilers though? Is it actually spoilers? It's not, right? It's not spoilers, right? Because we're just revisiting the fight that we already know in a different way.
defeat the strongest level 5 in Academy City, Accelerator. On paper, despite the power of Imagine Breaker, Touma would have no...
So should I stop then? 1 in chat for a stop because it's spoilers. 2 for continue. Let's see it. Couple 1s, couple 2s. A lot more 1s. Some 2s. You spoil the action scenes, it's pretty different from Index. I mean, it's just a fight. It's just like it's just like martial art combat. Fuck it. I'm rolling. Whatever. I'm just gonna go with whatever.
No chance. Surely the only possible answer to him beating Accelerator is clear and obvious plot armor. But despite common misconceptions, what if I told you there are actually plausible reasons that Touma defeated Accelerator during Sisters arc?
What reason though? Here's the thing, and I'm sure he'll explain it very well. When I watched Index Season 1 and saw this fight, it was crazy. Because Touma already tanked Misaka's electric zaps multiple times. He was already so gassed. Remember, on the bridge, all he did was take the bitty hits. And he somehow survived all of that. And that already blew my mind because bro I don't even think he used Imagine Breaker to, prevent the attacks. He just took it. And I'm like, this is not a normal human's endurance. No normal person can tank hits like this. And then we fought Accelerator. And Accelerator literally fucking blew up the battle area through that like flower explosive whatever. And Touma did get away, but he also got hit so much. Yet he's still just alive. That blew my mind. That, in terms of plot armor, the amount of hits that Touma took and was still able to get back up, I think that's the plot armor. It just made no sense. Apparently the light novel explained that Touma was way more hurt, way more injured. In the anime, he was scuffed up, but it looked like he was doing fine. Accelerator got cocky. He also has never had a situation where someone bypassed his like Mugen, right? The automatic defense through the vector control. So when Touma hit him for the first time, it was a shock. And Accelerator, lost composure. And you need to do like mathematical calculations to be cool and, to be able to keep up, these vector calculations. But also Accelerator can't fight for shit, right? Because Accelerator has no need to fight. His vector, change ability is so OP. Just like Regulus and ReZero, they're the same in the sense that they rely on their power so much that their physical martial arts is not there at all. And Touma can throw hands.
But I must note that Touma did not defeat Accelerator easily. He nearly lost consciousness, and his body was on the breaking point from his injuries. The Index anime failed to show this.
Exactly. The Index anime, yes, he got scuffed up, but I'm like, bro, he's still up? How?
Despite the light novel saying that Touma was heavily injured While in the anime, it looked like he had a few scratches and that's
Yeah.
about it. But luckily, Railgun
It was a
S did
tank.
fix this, which showed
Okay.
a more...
Yeah. This makes a lot more sense, right? You get to see it's censored, but it's more bloody. But it still blows my mind that Touma was even fighting Accelerator after facing Misaka on the bridge.
half-dead Touma after Accelerator flung him around by manipulating the wind around them.
All right, this is the spoiler part. 125 to 201, I will skip. Thank you, Fraser, for the timestamp. Here we go.
Now back to the video. The first reason why Accelerator lost was because of his personality. Accelerator believed
Arrogance.
he could not be defeated, and that his power to manipulate vectors was invincible.
And it is. It truly is. Except there's a character that has the ability to nullify that. What a bullshit power, huh?
So he underestimated Touma and was willing to play with his food before deciding to go in for the kill. Accelerator was amused by Touma's personality due to the fact he was willing to try to stop Accelerator from killing Misaka Emoto. So that's why Accelerator was prompted to try and scare Touma to make him run away, but that never happened. When he was hit by Touma,
Jesus Christ, this frame is good.
he was in disbelief that he could be punched, assuming
That's right. The first time Touma made contact was when he just like tapped Accelerator's hand, right? Touma was like on the ground, struggling to get up. Accelerator's taunting, getting close. Then Touma like slapped his hand away. And at that point, Accelerator was like, what the fuck? Did you actually just touch my flesh?
that he must have turned off his reflection by accident, as there is no other way that he would have been hit otherwise. But soon after subsequent hits, Accelerator realised Touma must have a special ability in his right hand that allows him to bypass the reflection. Accelerator began to panic and became desperate and clumsy to try and hit Touma. This certainly played into Touma's strengths, who remained composed and focused during the fight despite his injuries. This is impressive considering one touch from Accelerator would result in certain death for Touma, as Accelerator would simply reverse his blood flow using his ability. Accelerator also began to doubt himself and his power. Psychologically, Touma was in a far superior position during the fight.
Okay.
The second and most important reason was the experience of both fighters.
That's right. Touma is very experienced in hand-to-hand combat. Even if he's lost his memories leading into this, I'm sure the muscle memory is ingrained to the amount of fights that he had in the past. Accelerator never had to do this shit. His vector control created this OP power where he never had to actually fight.
Accelerator never had to work hard to defeat his enemies, as most people who tried to fight Accelerator would automatically be crushed by hitting themselves by hitting Accelerator's vector shield, so he didn't really have much competition. Accelerator could literally just stand still and use little effort to defeat hundreds or even thousands of opponents or enemies, potentially. Touma was the exact opposite of this, as he always had to work hard to defeat his opponents, and he was experienced in street fighting against multiple opponents, but would lose if there were 3 or more thugs against him, as it would be too much for any kid like him to handle. Even if Touma is not a superhuman who can defeat hundreds of opponents like Accelerator,
So 1v1 duel
had experience in street fighting against multiple opponents.
It's an oddly enough like a good matchup for Touma, even though he can't take out 100 people at once. It's a very specific matchup from Accelerator and Touma. Makes sense like Touma won, I guess, yeah.
Even if he didn't win all the time, but it was still better than nothing, and it also gave Touma experience in fighting and using his head to gain an advantage in a fight. Certainly the fights up until this point in the story against Style Magnus, the Aureolus dummy, which only appeared in the light novel, and Aureolus Izzard, all required Touma to be thinking tactically combined with his physical strengths.
Yeah, Touma is pretty creative, right? I mean, the first time we fought Steed, what happened? He like summoned this like fire spirit thing that could not be defeated through his Imagine Breaker alone because there was a bunch of like, what was it? Like charms Like I forget what's the specific term is for you know the magicians. They set up a bunch of fucking you know like those like paper charm shit all around, and it's just like, all right, now we gotta go take care of that. And then you know there's a lot of creative ways. The runes, right? That's right. Talisman runes or some shit. They always have so much like you know break time. He is very adaptive and he's good at improvising. The ways that he wins is not just through brute force
to gain victory. While Touma lost his memories in Old Testament 1, he did not lose his muscle memory, the part of his brain that links kinetic movement and actions.
Yeah, this is again, no memory, but the muscle memory, right? You learn how to ride a bike, even if you've gone through like a dementia arc, you'll probably still know how to ride a bike.
To the brain. So Touma's body did not lose the experience of fighting street thugs in Academy City prior to Old Testament 1, due to Accelerator having no experience.
Is this guy perhaps really weak? What a crazy frame.
In fighting the way that normal people fight, and Touma having that experience, it played into Touma's advantage. While Accelerator can manipulate the vectors around him to travel at supersonic speeds, Accelerator did not know how to utilize this ability to fit his fighting style at this point in the timeline. In fact, it can be argued that Accelerator didn't even have a fighting style at all to begin with.
Yeah, because he just abuses his vector powers. So, no fighting style, no martial arts, just abusing vector control. Even that supersonic speed is actually kind of pointless. Interesting. He was just kind of throwing shit at Touma most of the times.
Since he was just used to standing still and not trying to move about and outmaneuver his opponent to win, he could just stand there and his ability would do all the work for him.
I guess Accelerator will go through a training arc? I don't know. Is he going to? I've learned a new fighting style. He gets pissed off that he lost to Touma and he'll come back.
So Accelerator was unable to use his speed to gain an upper hand against Touma. I mean, he did use it, but just not very well, as he was just charging forward without any thinking, really, because he was so angry during the fight, and that mentality definitely played a part in why he lost. His panicking mind made Accelerator unable to make good decisions in the fight. Accelerator's movements were slow and clumsy at close range, as if Accelerator used a fast attack up and close, and it missed, it would leave him open to being hit. But at the same time, the slow and off-balance strikes of Accelerator were easy for Touma to avoid and counterattack.
Clench your teeth, weak guy. Well, that's gonna piss him off more. And I think there's like a lot of psychological component to this too, because if you're known as the strongest person, you're getting bodied by the weakest person, and you're getting called a weak guy by someone who's level 0, that's gonna do things to your head, right? A lot of like, you know, I know this is not sports, but this is still like physical activity, and a lot of the physical activity has to do with like your mental like preparedness, the confidence you have. And the more tilted you get, you can't perform. And the more tilted he becomes as he keeps getting called weak guy and he can't really rationalize, how the fuck am I being beaten by this guy right now, right? It's just like it's a compounding momentum.
As Accelerator had never been hit before due to his reflection, Accelerator went into a state of shock from experiencing physical pain, likely for the first time since he was experimented on when he was a very young boy. Touma, on the other hand, was used to taking hits and enduring physical pain.
Literally, leading into this fight, he got zapped by BDBD like 5 separate times. He should be already gassed, and then he showed up.
Combined with his determination and resolve to protect Misaka Makoto and the sisters, Accelerator had never faced anyone with Touma's resolve before, which was why Accelerator was so shocked to see Touma stand up again and again, no matter how many times he was knocked down. Accelerator was used to fighting opponents who were weak-minded and afraid of him, which was why he said,
"The fuck? Touma self-proclaimed the strongest." I mean, Imagine Break is pretty OP. Touma has a pretty clean track record of the people he's fought so far. Has he lost to anyone in Index Season 1 that we've watched? No, right? Touma has 100% success rate. Well, Steamikado. Steamikado. Steamikado fucked up Touma and his dad. Well, that was like not a real fight though. That's not a real fight. He kind of just like got surprise shocked out of nowhere. Kanzaki? That fight, I don't think Touma was trying to win though. He made Kanzaki frustrated, right? Kanzaki wasn't even trying to kill him either. It was like a stalemate. He was like brute forcing. The Kanzaki episode, the fight was more like Misaka and Touma on the bridge. Of Touma just taking the hits. And then Misaka getting frustrated and just leaving. Isn't that kind of what the Kanzaki fight was too?
That he knew what it took to break a man, and yet Touma had surpassed that. Accelerator was notably scrawny and lacked actual fitness, since he didn't need to be physically fit to defeat.
Is he gonna get jacked then? Accelerator gotta go on roids and hit the gym? Is he on his gym arc right now? And Index Season 2 he'll come back stronger than ever? I don't know, we'll see.
Anyone, as he could just rely on his power to win, especially when he could just amplify his strength and speed. So he didn't really need to hit the gym. Touma's hits were also very damaging to Accelerator, especially the strikes to the face. Touma was able to KO Style in one punch, and that dude was like twice the size of Touma.
True.
So it's honestly impressive that Accelerator lasted so long.
Yeah, like weight is like such an important thing in fights, right? One of the biggest indicators of who's gonna win in like a street fight is just like how heavy you are. There's a reason why different weight classes exist in boxing or like MMA, right? Because sometimes you're just so much bigger or heavier that like someone like smaller, you can just overwhelm them. Dude, Accelerator looks like a fucking meth head, right? He just cracked up, homeless looking kid. He's lanky as fuck. How could he take hits like Stata?
Multiple times. Touma also could not have won without the actions of the Misaka sisters and Misaka Makoto.
That's right. They stopped the wind turbines together because that was going to create some huge... This is when, you know, Accelerator was like rapping. He was making some weird ass fucking noises with his mouth.
Who worked together to throw off Accelerator's calculations for creating plasma by controlling the wind turbines across Academy City. Accelerator's trump card had been nullified by the sisters he thought were useless.
Would the plasma have killed Touma? Why wouldn't Imagine Breaker be able to defeat the plasma? Because at the end of the day, that's still Esper powers, right? Could he have not just Imagine Break Accelerator's like plasma move? Because the plasma was more like a scientific phenomenon created through vector control, but the end product is different from, let's say, Misaka's thunder. No, it's a physical phenomenon. Even if he stopped, it's still hot. But what about like Misaka's lightning? Like Misaka's lightning, is it not also a physical phenomenon? Well, it's kind of weird here, right? Because I'm trying to like separate people's actual powers versus like a physical phenomenon created through the powers. Like a Kanzaki's attack. You can't stop Kanzaki's attack. It's a fucking sword. But like you can't stop Izurd's blade attacks because that's not really like a physical sword. That's more like, you know, byproduct of his fucking, you know, his Esper shit.
And would never defeat him. And ironically, they played a vital role in defeating him, as psychologically, Accelerator could not accept what was happening before his eyes. His rage boiled over when he saw Touma
Yeah, alchemy, not Esper shit. Izurd was doing some other shit.
standing up once again, and became desperate to finish him off for good, after he was unable to use the plasma to destroy whoever was in his sight. Accelerator charged forward at Touma like an angry madman, while Touma remained focused despite how weak his body was at that point. Since Accelerator was so angry and just screaming, it made his actions and attack very easy to predict.
This is just like the episode of Versus Izurd, when Touma, like, you know, had that dragon aura. You know, he's like all bloody. His arm is missing. Toma's face facing the ground. Everything shaded dark, bloodied up. You can feel the aura. It's actually scary and menacing.
For Touma to counterattack and deal the finishing blow. I hope this video was insightful for those
Yeah,
of you
it was.
who are curious about how Touma defeated Accelerator without any bullshit
I just realized that his profile picture is Alistair, bro, with headphones on.
involved. Anyway, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more Toaru videos.
I would love to cover more Toaru content from Aeon of Horus, but again, because it's more suited for light novel, readers and people that's watched all of the anime, there's a lot of spoilers happening, but hey, sometimes we can cover it. Please go give Aeon of Horus a like and sub to his channel if you'd like. I'll see you next time.